I don't believe in ghosts. Met one though. Welcome to my Halloween marathon. For the next 24 hours, I'm going to be giving you piping hot reactions every hour on the hour. Every time the clock turns around another hour, you're going to get another reaction. And I think there may be, I haven't finished editing yet for a lot of this shit, but I think there may even be like, two videos, like some of the, how sometimes my episodes are split in two videos. That may happen at least once. We'll see. I'm going to try to avoid that because I'm already doing 24 uploads. And if anybody has like the bell rung, which hopefully you do because I host the algorithm, like you're gonna be getting these notifications every fucking hour. Like, what the fuck is going on? What is this big fat motherfucker, drunk ass motherfucker doing? Why does he keep uploading videos? God damn it! Your notifications be blowing off the chain, man. So sorry, that's just what I do on holidays. I'm gonna be doing it for Thanksgiving and Christmas too. I'm already planning it. Well, that 1 month turnaround is gonna be bad though, because I had 4 months to recover from my birthday before doing this again. It almost killed me. Doing my birthday, I had to take a week off from Patreon videos, which is bad. You should never do that. But it killed me. Like, I just couldn't. This time I paced myself a lot better, so it won't happen. But that 1 month turnaround is going to be bad. Boy, man, I just like to do this every now and then. But yeah, I never really advertised my Patreon, but why not, check it out. There's going to be a Doctor Who episode later in this marathon that'll be advertised on my Patreon a little bit. But yeah, I've got new reactions coming out every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday of shows that you don't get on this channel. Like Orphan Black, Doctor Who, and Battlestar Galactica is what's currently happening. Then, there's a whole season of Enterprise Season 1 already in the bank. And plus, I was doing movies for a while. So you get shit like Wonder Woman and Annabelle Comes Home and Parent Trap and shit. So, yeah, so there's a lot of shit on my Patreon. So go check it out. Anyway, in the meantime, what's coming up for this 24 hours is there's going to be a marathon the entire first season of Walking Dead. So that's going to be in there. I've brought Mr. Robot back from the dead. Speaking of Walking Dead, there's going to be 3 episodes of Mr. Robot. So that'll get us almost to the end of season 1. So that'll be cool. And then I'm going to start doing that every week. I haven't figured out what day of the week yet. Drop a comment. Let me know if there's a particular day of the week you would like that to happen. Right now I've got Better Call Saul coming every Monday and Sopranos coming every Tuesday. So pick one of the other days of the week. And all things being equal, I don't really have a preference. And got some other shit. Some surprises, some old favorites, and some unfavorites. Barely watched shit that I'm just trying to burn off because I'd already done the reaction. It's going to be a fun 24 hours. So for this first hour, what's going to happen is a ghost story I told a while back. It really happened to me. Believe it or not, I don't give a shit. Like, it happened. And it's real. And I recorded this several months ago, and I didn't know if I was ever going to do anything with it. But now this is a perfect opportunity. So for the first hour, we get a ghost story, and the rest of the 24 hours, most of them will have something to do with ghosts, scary shit, paranormal, zombies, whatever. But not all of them. We'll just have to see. So enjoy the marathon. It was about 20 years ago. I was coming back from Chicago, going through Ohio, back to North Carolina. And in Ohio, I got tired. So I was like, well, fuck it. I'm just going to, typically I'll stay like 2 hours, get 2 hours of sleep at a rest stop, right? And then keep driving. But this particular time, I had a little bit of extra money, and so I was like, fuck it, I'm going to stay at a hotel. So I checked in a hotel. It was one of these out-of-the-way places. It wasn't near any kind of city. It was just, the kind of hotels they have in between cities where they have like a couple of restaurants, they have a couple of gas stations, and they have a hotel or two, in the bigger states, right? So it was one of those scenarios. And I remember it was a hotel, it was a brand hotel. I don't remember which one. It wasn't anything like a Hilton or anything like that. It was, probably a 2-star, maybe a 2.5-star, but it was a brand. I do remember it was a brand. It wasn't like a mom and pop hotel chain. So anyway, I check in, and it was room 315. So I checked in. It was around 8 or 9 o'clock at night. It was basically second shift. Third shift, I think, in the hotels usually comes in around 11 or 12 or something like that. It was definitely before that because there was a guy on call, right? And so I check in, go to my room on the third floor, obviously being room 315. And it was one of those hotels where like the doors open to the outside. So, you go up the outside steps and then these outside balconies, and then you go into your room, right? If you're on the ground floor, you open up, you walk right out into the parking lot, right? So I go in, fairly big room. It was for 2 beds and stuff like that. And it had like a fridge, typical writing desk, TV. So typical room, decent size. And I took a shower, watched a little TV, and everything was fine. I didn't feel anything wrong. And then laid down and turned out the light. And then the second I turned out the light, I felt something like it was watching me. I could feel like I was being watched the second I turned out the light. So I turned it back on. I was like, what the fuck? And obviously there was nobody there when I turned it back on. But the feeling persisted after I turned the light back on, by the way. And so I actually got up and looked around to see if there's any kind of cameras or anything. I looked at the mirrors, between the the mirror and the wall. And none of the mirrors were like mounted in the wall, where like it's actually in the fucking wall. They were the kind that are like attached to the wall, right? Because I remember looking back there. I was like opening it up a little bit, and so I was like, okay, well, there's no cameras. It's not like they have like some kind of hallway going in between rooms where they can go by and look in all the mirrors, right? Like there was a movie about that recently. You could walk down the hallway and you see into all the rooms and shit. Like none of that. So I was like, well, this is fucking weird. And there could have been like a hidden camera, but remember, this is 20 years ago. This is probably 1998, 99, something like that. Camera technology has come a long way. I'm not saying they didn't have like tiny surveillance cameras back then, but nowadays it'd be a lot more likely. You wouldn't be able to rule it out nowadays, I don't think. So I was like, well, I don't see any sign anybody's watching me. So I don't know what the fuck's going on. So, but the feeling like persisted. Everybody watching this knows the feeling I'm talking about. Like there's just that feeling back your neck. You turn around and there's always somebody fucking looking at you and shit, right? Like you can fucking feel when somebody's looking at you. That's exactly what the feeling was. So I was like, all right, whatever. I'm going to lay back down. And the feeling just persisted and persisted and persisted. And it got stronger and stronger. Like whoever was watching me was closer and fucking closer. And it got to the point, like, of course, I turned on the light a couple more times. Nothing would, like, make this feeling go away. So it got to the point that, like, it felt like somebody's face was literally right in front of my face. Like, I'm laying in bed. It was like their face was hovering over mine and their fucking eyes, which I was imagining to be about this fucking big each, right? I'm just talking about the feeling. This is the feeling. Of course, as a writer and as a creative person, I'm going to conceptualize those feelings in a creative way. So I was imagining like a face with massive eyes, right? I didn't see that. I'm just saying this is what was coming to mind because of how strong the feeling was. But it felt like the face was like right here. That's how fucking close the person was. And they were just fucking staring at me. Just like, mad dogging me, I think is what the cops call it when you're like staring at a cop. They don't like it. You're mad dogging it, right? Just fucking mad dogging me. And I finally, I turned the light on and I kept it on. And this time, because it was that strong, for some reason when I turned the light on this time, it receded a little bit. And then I was definitely, like, it was cold in the room now. It was cold, like, in front of me and shit, Now, again, I just want to make this absolutely fucking clear. I don't believe in ghosts. I still don't believe in ghosts. Like, I have my theories about what the fuck is going on. I'm open-minded. It's possible it was a ghost. But it's also possible there's some kind of like emissions going on, like it was next to a fucking swampy, marshy area. Maybe there was some kind of gas being released that would fuck with you, like cause you to, especially people like me, creative people with active imaginations. Who the fuck knows? Like they also say there's sounds that can cause hallucinations and shit, like that you can't register on a human level, but your brain still senses it, right? Your brain picks up the sound, but the conscious mind doesn't, right? The only problem with that is I'm like very deaf. Like I'm deaf in one ear, partially deaf in the other. So I don't know if that would affect me. I don't know. So I left the light on for a little while, and then I turned it back off, and it started getting more persistent. And I had been driving like all day, and plus I'd had a full day of work before I started driving and things. So eventually I just passed out. I fell asleep, even though that was like a very fucking uncomfortable feeling. And I fucking woke up about, I don't know, it was about like 5 in the morning, something like that. Not uncommon for me. And it felt like there was somebody laying in bed next to me. Like literally the weight of somebody laying in bed with you. And it was like ice fucking cold on that side of the bed. And this was like March, so, it could be cold. It's not like it was fucking August, right? So it's possible, like, cold could happen, right? But yeah, I woke up 5 a.m. and there was like, it felt like someone was next to me. Then the staring feeling was gone, but there was literally, I was convinced somebody had crawled in bed with me. So rather than reach for a light, which has probably been the smarter thing to do, I put my hand over there, see, like, what the fuck is this, right? Like, grab somebody, whatever, like, and then, hey, if it's a fucking supermodel, then, maybe the hand can, like, initiate some shit. I don't fucking know. But there was nothing there, of course. But it did feel like my hand was going through some cold water. And so, and as soon as I did that, then that fucking staring feeling was back. Like, the eyes were like, bam, right in fucking front, just fucking mad dogging me, man. I was like, God damn, I turned the fucking light back on. I was like, man, fuck this shit. I don't believe in ghosts, but fuck this shit. Another thing, too, and I've told this story to a lot of people. I don't think I've ever told this detail. I was fucking soaked in sweat so bad, even though I'd taken a shower before I went to sleep, I had to take another fucking shower. Yeah. And the funny thing was, there was no, like, feeling in the bathroom like being stared at. Like the ghost is smart, man. He don't want to see this. I don't know, man. Like, I was lighter back then. I don't know. But, there was none of that shit in the shower. When I came out from the shower, there was nothing like that. It seemed to be very bed-centric. So, the punchline is, I was like, I'm out of here. So I pack up my shit. Go down, hit the fucking, breakfast buffet situation, that was just starting. I think it was like starting at 5:30, some shit. Maybe 6 a.m., something like that. So I grabbed a little bit of food. And then back then, you still had to, like, check out. You had to tell them, okay, I'm out of, like, room, whatever. These days, man, I don't know when it changed. These days, you just fucking roll, man. And then they're like, okay, I guess they're gone. Like, but there was a time when you had to, like, just to make sure, especially just check your bill and shit. Make sure your car didn't be charged some exorbitant bullshit. Like, so back then you checked in, And so I went to the desk to just tell them, okay, I'm checking out of room such and such. And obviously, being 5 a.m. after shift change, there was a different person than had checked me in. It was some woman. She was in her 20s. Maybe even a teenager. She was pretty young. And I went up there, and before I even, like, checked out, I just said, hey, and I didn't want to say, hey, y'all haunted. So I tried to be cool about this shit. I said, hey, I'm just curious. I'm a writer, and I'm always looking for, like, story ideas and shit. Has there ever been any stories about, have any guests ever complained about anything unusual at this hotel? And she looked at me, I swear to fucking God, I am not making this up. She fucking looked up, and she had a little grin on her face. And she said, room 315, huh? And I tell you, I had a fucking chill. I got to chill again, man. Look at this shit. Like, I got to chill again. Like, unbelievable. I got to fucking chill. Like, it was like cold water going down my spine. Like, there was no fucking way she could have known. Like, there had to have been, 400 rooms at this place. It was like a 4-story hotel, right? And there was a shit ton of rooms. I don't know how many fucking rooms. I don't know if there's 100 per floor. I'm just saying there was a lot of fucking rooms. And they were at least 2/3 capacity, guessing by the parking lot when I went out. So it wasn't like there was 2 people checked in, right? There was no way she could have pulled my room number out of her fucking ass. I hadn't told it to her. I hadn't put my key down or anything like that. And she wasn't the person that checked me in. She wasn't even on duty when I checked in. Now, there could have been some elaborate fucking hoax going on. I don't know. Like, that would explain it, right? But I'm just saying, she pulled the fucking room name out of her fucking ass. Like, she was like, 315, huh? And I couldn't even fucking say anything, man. I was like, so I guess I'm trying to remember exactly how I phrased it. I was like, so I guess there's been some shit going down in that room, huh? Is that the only room? No, that's what it was. I said, is that the only room? That's what it was. That's what I said. I said, is that the only room? And she's like, so what'd you see? And I said, I chickened out. I regret it so much. I wish I'd had a much more detailed conversation with her. But I was younger, and I wasn't really prepared. It was the last thing I was expecting was her to be able to guess my room number. I wasn't prepared. So I said, no, I didn't see anything. I've heard shit. And I kind of stumbled like that. And then her fucking smile got a lot bigger. And she says, okay, well, you're good to go. I put you in the computer. Here's your bill, right? She had printed my shit out. So she got, like, dismissive as fuck once she saw that, like, I was, like, clamming up. And for the life of me, I didn't keep track of, like, where this hotel is. The name of it, the location. I really want to fucking go back. But I was fucking weirded out. But I didn't think it was something that's going to stay with me for 20 years, right? which it has, right? Like now, I would totally fucking go back to that place, check into the same room if they would even allow it, and be like, "Sup, what's happening? Yeah, let's talk, motherfuckers." I mean, something, right? Like I would just, but I don't even remember like the specific brand name of the hotel, where it was, or anything. So, obviously a completely unsubstantiated story. I could be completely making it up. You guys have no fucking clue either way, right? Who the fuck knows? But basically, the reason I'm sharing this is it's the weirdest thing that's ever happened to me. I've had a couple other little tiny things that maybe I'll tell sometime, that like where it seemed like I predicted the future, but nothing like this. This was like the most supernatural ass shit that's ever fucking happened to me. And it was all feelings though. See, that's why you can't quantify it. You can't prove anything. But I don't know. I mean, maybe it's a succubus. I mean, well, I guess I'd have had a lot more fun if it's a succubus.